Look at this, man. I'm actually just going to take a moment, right? I'm going to stand here and take this in. I was buying at least one property per month. Most months it was 2 or 3, and I'd done that for about 2.5 to 3 years consecutively. How are you buying this many property, Terry? How are you buying 4 hotels, Terry? How are you buying bars and restaurants and glamping sites and cafes, Terry? How? I started to raise angel investment. I heard about people raising money online. So I thought, right, I'm going to learn this. Sales, leads, similar principle. I rose a couple of million quid, angel investment for my businesses. How are you doing this so quickly, Terry? How? I had this one this morning, actually. You're everywhere on social media, Terry. I can't avoid you. Your followers around with your ads in every platform. I see you. How? How are you doing it, Terry? I had this one recently as well. How am I building the Wealthy Advisor Club so quickly? How has it nearly got 2,000 members already? But the same question keeps cropping up. And the truth is, there is key things that I do each and every time, and I'm going to share them in a minute. And I'm going to share because I'm open and I'll be transparent and I'll tell you the good and the bad and just my experience of building the companies that I've built, training, recruiting hundreds of people now, arguably training more than anybody else in this country, any more advisors anyway. And certainly I think we've got the fastest growing community in the UK, right? But that's someone's phone, tenner in the jar. I did learn the hard way, right? And just to be absolutely clear and transparent, I definitely did. Definitely made loads of mistakes. Anybody who's achieved anything of relative size, who says they haven't made mistakes, I'd question their honesty. Because most people who've done anything of relative size has made loads of mistakes. I truly believe my firms would have been at least twice the size if I knew then what I know now. And hindsight is always 20/20, right? I recruited the wrong people, definitely. But yeah, if you've recruited the wrong person before into your business, everyone who's a business owner would probably just put their hand up. Definitely. Because we don't learn recruitment, do we? We get good at the thing, whether that's mortgages, protection, estate planning, whatever, and we think, right, well, I'm good at the thing, made a few quid, let's recruit some people. We don't know how to recruit, we don't know how to manage, do we? I've recruited some terrible people over the years. Recruited in the wrong way. Not keeping an eye on the numbers close enough. Again, I don't know if anybody can relate to any of these points. Definitely the money was flying in, but it was flying back out as well. And I learned the importance of P&Ls and keeping a good handle on the numbers daily. I didn't train staff the right way often. I got them in, I thought this person's going to be great. I assumed that they'd just be good because they were working for us, but there's a lot more to it, right? Finding good people is one thing, but training them, building a culture and nurturing and getting the best out of that person is a complete different skill again. Management styles of people, depending upon the age, the experience levels, the USPs, your location, personalities. There's lots that come into play when you're going to manage people. And it's a really tough skill, right? But I learned how to do proper one-on-ones, how to manage and coach people properly dependent upon their personality type is how you can get the best out of people. How are you building 45 advisors when I was 23? How did I build Bespoke Financial up to over 100 brokers so quick? How? It's because I learned through mistake, trial and error, right? No systems, processes. Again, a lot of people who are good at sales are typically not very good at admin and processy stuff, right? You're good at sales and you can drive the money in, but then you're just leaving a bit of chaos behind you. Imagine a lot of people can relate to that one as well. No real mentor for big parts of my journey. Had some good people around us as we went, but I'd never paid somebody for mentorship or, done courses, masterminds, programs for a good part of my career. And I learned the importance of doing that, and I still do that to this day. Operationally, I wasn't quick enough and slick enough. It was a bit chaotic. If you ever went in any of my old Bespoke offices, you might have seen that. Expanding too quickly. Didn't use enough tech or automations. The lead gen was inconsistent. Commission structures I got wrong at times, but I learned if someone's an operations person or an admin person or a manager or a salesperson or a marketing person, they need different incentives, right? They need different commission structures and bonus structures to nurture them and get the best out of them. I just learned through the time doing this over the last 17 years what works and what doesn't. Leadership team, there's loads on here, right? Having everybody following the same script is hugely important. And again, I had all these advisors And they were doing different stuff. They were selling this way, they were selling that way, this person was doing that. I learned just getting it sort of streamlined and having continuity across the business in each department just makes it run a lot quicker and slicker and cause you a lot less headache as well, right? Not overcomplicating the job. You get the point, right? I made many mistakes and I wanted to be absolutely honest and transparent with that. So I always am. But despite all that, I still built 2 very successful brokerages within Primus. I've been involved in lots of businesses since that have done really well. 10 million in protection commissions. We broke the record in Primus multiple times, and we've still got the record. 30 grand in premium in a month. That's 30,000 in monthly premium. 1,302 life policies in 1 month. Recruited and trained hundreds of brokers. Won awards all over the place. Changed many lives of staff as well as clients. And ultimately, I've just learned key things on this journey. And I am going to share them with you in a second. Just building it up, you see. I've learned the issues, the problems, and the solutions. That's why there's some people in here who I've mentored one-to-one, who have progressed quicker than me, because they can learn from my mistakes instead of learning from their own mistakes. And it's far, far slower to learn from your own mistakes, and it's more expensive. Therefore, it's far quicker and easier and cheaper to learn from someone else's mistakes, right? That's a power of having good people around you, community, and a mentor. I was jumping ahead of the slide there. That's the award winners from last time. But you get the point. Now, it's took us 16 years to learn what I'm going to share on this flip chart. And it's took about 6 months to really tweak it and define it. And I've condensed, from what I can see from a financial services perspective, the key framework that you need to scale your company. Okay? So, let me get this flip chart in the middle here. I'm like a kid on Christmas with this flip chart, by the way. This is a proper flip chart. If you like, Tony, you'll agree. If you like sales training as much as me, this is like utopia. What a flip chart. Right, I'm going to put this in the middle. Is that about the middle? Yeah, that'll do. Okay. So, let's do a training session. So the first point in the 8-part framework, by the way, in those brochures, the back pages is notes if you don't have a notebook. Number 1 is lead gen. So we all know the importance of leads. If you don't have leads, you don't have anything. You've probably heard me say, even if you're amazing at sales, you've got the best CRM, you've got the best process, you're great at closing, you've got a great team, great brand, but if you've got nobody to close, it doesn't matter. Leads are top of funnel, yeah? Leads are the starting point to scale. You can't do anything without clients, can you? So putting time and attention on lead gen is really, really key, and it's often actually overlooked. The key with leads is high quality, because let's be honest, nobody wants to really be dealing with tire kickers, time wasters, low value stuff. Nobody really wants to be doing that, right? High volume for obvious reasons. The more people you've got to sell to, help, the more you can generate in revenue, the more you can reinvest in your business, the more you can scale, the more you can recruit, etc. It's got to be high quality. It's got to be high volume. They've got to be consistent. So we've all had that where it's like this, right? Great month, bad month, average month, great month, average month, bad. And it goes like this, the roller coaster of sales. If you can master consistent leads that are also predictable, because when it's predictable, you can do a cash flow forecast, can't you? And when you know, right, I know how many leads are coming in and they're going to be high quality, roughly how much they're worth, the consistent and the predictable, you know that they're going to come in next month, you're in a good place, right? So lead gen is number 1. Number 2 is sales. Obvious, but obviously you don't want to have a load of leads and then you waste opportunities, do you? You want a load of leads coming in that are consistent, that are high quality, high volume, predictable, and then a high percentage of them are getting closed. A high percentage of them are getting sold to. Yeah? It's obvious. How do you get better at conversions? There's loads of training on the Wealthy Advisor Club. There's 15 fundamentals of becoming a high-performing salesperson. Objection handling, closing, how to ask good questions, your sales process, how to follow up correctly. It all matters from a sales perspective, and you want to get as high of a percentage as possible of those leads. Yeah? It's obvious, but it's still often overlooked. Someone said to me not that long ago, I'm not a salesperson. I went, honestly, mate, I can tell why you're not on the top of the leaderboards. Of course you're a salesperson. We're all salespeople. What are you talking about? And when you embrace the fact that we are in sales, you will typically do better. So having a high conversion rate, a high case value. Let's be honest, nobody wants to do 40 grand product transfers where you can't charge a fee and you can't sell them protection. Do we? Let's just be honest. Nobody wants to do that. So there need to be a better case value, or work on getting your case value up. Then work in your upsells and cross-sells. What are you going to use countrywide? Are you going to do estate plan? Are you going to do investments? Whatever. And then you're going to generate more revenue per client. Tony's arguably the master at this. Tony does 8 products across his clients. He's the all-rounder, which we're going to talk about on the panel. Upselling, cross-selling. So it's going to help with retention of the client as well, right? Because you're ring-fencing them and not letting anybody else in. Yeah? And having an effective and an efficient sales process that everybody follows in the organization. Not John does it this way, Bob does it this way, and Tim does it that way. It's uniformed for everybody. And that's what sales is about. Next up, we've got ops. So let's say you've got a load of leads coming in. They're high quality, consistent, predictable, high volume. You're converting a load of them at a good case value. Upsells, cross-sells, it's nice and efficient, but then it's coming into the office and it's absolute chaos and compliance issues. That's no good to anybody. That'll just get found out, and that's why people go out of business. Having a structured operational side of your company is hugely important. So that's your admin. Where's Tamsin and Ed? They love admin. Believe it or not, right? They love admin. Does anybody else love admin? Put your hand up if you love admin. One person, bloody hell. I hate admin. I'll be honest, I hate it. But there is people who love it, right? So what you've got to have in your business is the right people in the right places, of course. Yeah? Find the people that love admin and ops stuff and outsource to them or hire them. Yeah? Using tech, obviously we've got this mad thing called artificial intelligence, haven't we, that's kicking off. There's loads of mad stuff that you can do from an operational standpoint to save money and time. So getting your tech right for sure is key. Slick, quick, and scalable. That when you make that sale, it needs to be a slick customer journey, just going through nice and uniformed, great for the client, no compliance issues, no chaos, just efficiency. That's what ultimately for me ops is about. Then, the next point is net profit. You've got a load of leads coming in. You're converting the consistent, predictable, high quality, high volume. You're converting a high percentage of them. They're then coming into the office, slick and quick and getting dealt with properly. Then you're going to make a few quid. Then it's about money management, isn't it? It's about making sure that everything that comes in, you're keeping a good percentage of it. Are your shop going to go out of business? Yes, money's not everything, but money is important. If you don't have any money from a business perspective, you're gone, aren't you? You're absolutely toast. Having the right commission structures for your team. You've got to have a good commission structure to attract them, but to retain them as well, right? If you don't pay them enough, they're not going to come. Or if you do get them, they're going to leave. And if you pay them too much, that's going to affect your net profit. So you've got to get that balance, whatever that may look like. You've got to keep an eye on your overheads and what you can outsource. I outsource a lot to the Philippines, and I've got people in India and the Philippines now because they are really good at the job, and I don't have the issues that you have when you employ someone in the UK. Right? It makes sense. So you could potentially look at that, about how you can outsource and keep a good handle on your overheads. Using AI automations in tech is also really key to increase margins and retain good margins, because it doesn't matter how good this bit is, if this bit is not there, it is only a matter of time before they go down the drain. Yeah? Next up is influence. So who are you being influenced by? Now this is really key. So let's say your business is doing £500,000, right? There's huge variations of people in this room. Let's just say £500,000. If everyone you mix with, speak to, have around you are doing 80 grand, you are going to start to think that you have made it, that you are the man or the woman, yeah? And what will ultimately happen is the ambition that you've got will be dampened and you will lose some of your sharpness. And that sharpness, that edge that everyone at the top has got about them will be dampened if you've got the wrong people around you. That's part of the reason why we do this community, right? It's getting around other like-minded people. We've all heard the phrases like birds of a feather flock together, your network is your net worth, you know, you're a product of your environment, you'll earn on average what the 5 people who you spend the most time with earns. We've all heard those phrases, right? It's about having a like-minded power team. And I was very fortunate after a few years to get around people who are in this audience as well, and it keeps you going, right? And I paid for mentors, and I've got around some people that are billionaires and people who are worth 100 million plus. And when you speak to them people, you don't think that you made it at all. You instantly think, right, standards are up. What I can achieve is up. Because you'll see with Sarah, you'll see with Timothy, you'll see with Tony, you'll see with the people on the panel, depending upon where people are at. There's people in this game, in this industry, that are doing more than all of us, right? There's always somebody further ahead. So getting around them, spending time with them, leaning on them, will just naturally, the conversation's different. It will naturally lift you up. Learn from people who've done it before. Don't take sales advice from someone who can't sell. And there's a few of them. It's like when you go to university. I didn't go to university, by the way. I failed everything in GCSEs, but I was told that business, like if you go and do a master's or a degree in business at university, the people that take the lectures have never had a business before. Like what? Would you go to the gym and if you want to lose some weight, like go and like there's a personal trainer there and he's really out of shape, would you say, yeah, you can teach me how to lose weight? Of course you wouldn't. So why you take sales advice or business building advice from someone who hasn't done it, or a corporate trainer, or just someone who's not one of us, not in this industry? Don't hang around with these lot neither. These negative Normans, right, what they are is they're the ones who go, don't need to join the Wealthy Advisor Club. You don't need to do social media. Don't do that lead gen strategy. Do this one. Don't sell that way. Do this. They think they know everything, don't they? Heard a few snickers there. There's definitely plenty of them in this industry, right? In every industry. But they think they know everything. Where are them lot on them leaderboards? Because you ain't at the top. And if you hang around with these type people, you will just be influenced by them. You just will. So it's about getting around the right people. Which approach is better? Learning from someone who's done it, or learning from someone who says they've done it or hasn't done it or can just speak well? Yeah? It's a really, really simple principle, but it's often not looked at in the right way. Next up is data. So, you've got a load of leads coming in. The high quality, the consistent, the predictable. You're then closing a high percentage of them as possible. You're upselling the high value, cross-selling, nice, slick, efficient process. The sales are then coming in. They're getting dealt with in a slick way. Operationally sound, no chaos, no compliance issue, just speed and efficiency. You're then making a few quid. You retain enough, you've got good margins, you've got a good handle on the numbers. You're getting around the right people, so they're constantly lifting you up, and you keep your sharpness. Some people have said to me, since joining the Wealthy Advisor Club, it's your energy, Terry, that brought us here. It's your energy that picks us up. It's made us believe this. It's made us believe that. It's lifted me standards. Just getting around other people is helping me grow just in itself. And I don't know if anyone else can relate to that, but I've been told that multiple times. You can probably feel my energy now because it's pouring out of us because I love this, right? This is me. You're getting around the right people. Then you're going to collect data. Right? And one of the best things I ever heard from a business perspective was make data-based decisions, data and logic, zero emotion. Yeah? Zero emotion. To give you an idea of that, I had, at Bespoke Financial, I had my mum, my stepdad, my uncle, and my little brother all working for us. They'd never done it before. I got them in, trained them up. My mum did really well. And I had to sack my stepdad and my brother. And they'll probably say this, so, I love yous, right? But that's an example of it's business, it's data, and it's like, and if the data and the numbers say that you're not right for this company for whatever reason or another, it has to be removed. If emotion crept in, it would be, but it's me brother, but it's me step. But unfortunately, you have to make the decisions, right? It's data and logic, zero emotion. And that is honestly